everyone. Welcome back to Classic Comics. I've covered the declining fortunes of the comic book industry on my channel for the last several years, such as declining sales, comic shops closing, and comic book professionals decrying the poor compensation they receive for their work, among other things. Another subject has been the struggles of Diamond comic distributors. Diamond became one of the main comic book distributors back in the 1980s. And when the comic book speculator bubble burst around 1997, it took most of the other comic book distributors with it, leaving Diamond as the last man standing, with a virtual monopoly on the shipping and distribution of comic books in the US. And it has stayed that way for nearly 30 years. Then, after the COVID lockdowns in 2020, DC decided to switch distributors to Penguin Random House, and over the next couple of years, other comic companies did as well. This loss of their main customers led Diamond to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy at the beginning of this year. Diamond attempted to find a financial backer that would purchase the company and allow it to avoid shutting down and its assets being sold off to pay its debts. But that has apparently failed, and this week it was announced that Diamond is being broken up and mass layoffs at the company have begun. For the comic industry, this is truly the end of an era, and one can only guess where the industry is going to go from here. But let's take a look at this article. This is from Comics Beat, which announces the sale of the company and the layoffs. So it's official. Diamond Comics acquired by Universal Distribution and Ad Populum. The sale has closed. Universal Distribution and Ad Populum are picking up the keys to the various parts of the Diamond Comics business, which they have now officially acquired. The sale, announced in a PR blast today, had been set to close on May 14th, and it looks like it went through. And here is the press release. Diamond Comic Distributors today announced that the sale of the company and its assets to Universal Distribution LLC, or Universal, and Ad Populum has been completed. Universal has acquired the assets of Alliance Game Distributors, and Ad Populum has acquired the assets of Diamond Comic Distributors, Diamond Book Distributors, Diamond Select Toys and Collectibles, Collectible Grading Authority, and other related assets. Diamond UK remains separate from this sale process. Quote, "We are pleased that this transaction has been completed and are confident that the publishers and retailers Diamond partner with, our employees and comics and games fans are in good hands with Universal and Ad Populum," said Diamond Chief Restructuring Officer Robert Gorin. "We are thrilled to officially welcome Alliance into the Universal Distribution family. This acquisition marks a transformative step forward in our mission to deliver exceptional service and value to retailers and publishers across North America. By combining Alliance's respected legacy and expansive network with Universal's operational strengths and innovation-driven approach, we are poised to elevate the distribution experience across the industry. We look forward to building on the trusted relationships Alliance has cultivated and continuing to support the growth and vibrancy of the hobby gaming community," said Angelo Exarchos, President and CEO of Universal Distribution. So far, so good, except many questions remain. For instance, what is Ad Populum going to do with Diamond's comic book business? Universal seems excited about selling more games via Alliance, but what about comics? Despite one chapter closing, this is still an ongoing story. Keep it locked to the beat for ongoing coverage. Okay, so this covers the actual sale. Then there's another article here. Before I go any further, let me take a moment to mention that most of the viewers on my channel are not subscribed. So while you're here, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. That sort of engagement really helps with the YouTube algorithm and gets the channel out to more viewers. Thank you. Breaking massive layoffs at Diamond Comics today. The end of the trail. With the sale and breakup of Diamond Comics and its associated companies official this afternoon, the layoffs have begun. Layoffs following an acquisition are an unfortunate and almost inevitable part of the business, so many observers expected something along these lines. We're hearing it described as variously a bloodbath and, quote, massive layoffs. Chris Powell, Diamond's chief sales and service officer, and one of the most public-facing personnel there, responsible for many statements during these last few difficult months, made it official on his Facebook page that he was leaving. "Today appears to have been my last day at Diamond and the other Jeppy family enterprises companies. The last 13 years have rarely been easy, but I'm just as grateful for my time here as I was for the prior 23 years at Lone Star Comics. The last 5 have been particularly challenging with COVID and other factors, but the great people I worked with, my team, other internal teams, and so many great suppliers and customers got us through it all. Well, I guess not all. I don't know what's next, whether it will be in the industry where I've spent my adult life or elsewhere. I know that wherever it is, it will have a lot to live up to. I still have things like the comic book legal defense fund that I'm passionate about, so I will be around, maybe with more free time to bug you for donations. Powell is not the only person let go from Diamond Comics proper, but we're not reporting any names until it is made official, and to be clear, not everyone has been let go. We're hearing that most of Diamond Book Distributors personnel have been laid off, with only 3 people remaining. Wow, only 3 people remaining with the company. We are mostly hearing that it's unlikely that Ad Populum will have any interest in a marginal business like comics distribution. Basically, Diamond Comics is done. However, Universal already has plans in place and deals with major publishers to become the third comics direct market distributor in the US. We're hearing that they have already made offers to hire some key Diamond personnel. So it sounds like this company, Universal, is basically going to take over the comic distribution. One thing that we've been told several times in recent days is that Universal is owned by the Jim Pattinson Group. Under founder Jim Pattinson, the JPG is Canada's second largest privately held company and has more than 45,000 employees worldwide and annual sales of 10.1 billion based on investments in Canada, the US, Mexico, Europe, Asia, and Australia. So far from being a small, scrappy company, Universal is actually very well funded with deep corporate pockets. And a lot of comic publishers find that something to be optimistic about. To sum it all up, we're hearing several different versions of the main idea. Universal will basically be a new Diamond, but using the Alliance infrastructure and their own deals. But Diamond Comics as we knew it is done. Once again, our best wishes to those impacted by today's layoffs. There were many good people there and still some remaining, and they're what earned Diamond the respect it held. So, yeah, so it's all over, and it speaks to, I think, how financially shaky the whole comic book business is as a whole. And I don't know, where's it going to go from here? I don't know. Personally, I don't see it getting any better, frankly. But the comic book industry just seems dead set on continuing on the road that it's on. I'm skeptical that they can even course correct at this point, even if they wanted to. I'm not sure they even have the wherewithal or the will or interest to do so. Who knows where it goes from here. But anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you all next time.